As I wait for my laundry, I want to tell you some unconventional rules that I will have for my children. These are non-negotiables. Obviously, I'm not married, I'm not pregnant, but whoever I end up settling with, they can't talk me out of this one. Number one, no sleepovers. No sleepovers. My kids are not... People's parents, people that live in other people's houses, do you know most cases of assault tend to come from a close family member or someone that is close to the family, not strangers. Number two, when you're maybe 16, 17, 18, you're allowed to go clubbing. I don't really care, but I am to pick you and I am to drop you. This was a rule that my mom had for me and saved me from so much drama. I've lost so many friends to drunk driving, as I'm sure many of you have as well. I mean, Kenyan culture, guys, I don't even know why guys drive to the club. Like, where are you going? Why are you behind the steering wheel at 4 a.m. when you've been sitting at a bar buying shots? So I am to pick and drop you, or your father is to pick and drop you, or Shosho is to pick and drop you. If you want to look cool in front of your friends, we can park far across the road so that your friends don't have to see us. But you're not entering an Uber and your friends are not taking you anywhere. When it comes to your grade in school, I'm going to look at your effort grade as opposed to the outcome. I went to the International School of Kenya, ISK, and I know in our younger years we were given 2 grades. One was for effort and one was for outcome. And effort is the only thing that I think I would find important. Until you turn maybe like 16 or 17 years old, I must have the password to your phone, the phone that I paid for. I must have the password to your social media accounts, and I need to keep checking. I will be doing random checks because people out here are disgusting and manipulative, and we are losing too many kids to violent adults. You must learn basic CPR and medical things. I mean, I don't know these things, but my kid needs to know these things because an emergency could be anywhere. Number 2, you must speak a language outside of the languages that I and your father speak. Pick whatever language you want. It could be Mandarin, it could be... I don't even care, but you must speak another language. You must play an instrument of your choice. You must play a sport of your choice. And what else? Oh yeah, things like Kumon is a must. The fact that you adults cannot do basic mental math in your head is extremely concerning. Kumon is a must until you finish school. You have to finish high school. I really don't care if you go to university or not as my kid. It's up to you. If you want to be a surgeon, you probably need to. But if you want to be a pianist, you probably don't need to. I don't mind with uni, but you do have to finish high school. And you have to pass. When it comes to fashion and clothing, I really don't care what you wear. Like, if you want to be in a crop top and shorts, like, I really don't care what you wear. And finally, summer's away. Anytime the kids are on summer vacation or on summer break, you're not going to be staying in the country that we live in as a family. You're going to be traveling somewhere else to do something. Go to a monk monastery in India. Go and learn to surf in somewhere where there's big waves. Like, I don't care, but like, you need to spend summers away. One of the reasons that I feel like I'm very diverse when it comes to my understanding of the world was because I was blessed enough to see it. And so the kids have to travel abroad to a random country every single summer. I moved because of the light. I'm gonna pay my kids. And it's not just about the wealth, but it's about teaching them how money works. So for example, if you do the dishes, that's 100 bob. You know, because they're little, right? If you do the dishes, you get 100 bob. If you, I don't know, wash the car, you get 120 bob. You know, little things like that. If you get a good grade on something, you know, I'll pay you for that. But at the end of the month, I expect, for example, 50 shillings. That's your rent. On top of that, I expect an additional 10 shillings for tax. These small amounts, when they're small, already begins to teach them, and it already begins to implement. I grew up being very blessed. I've always had an allowance. I've always been around money so that I could understand how it works, and it's because of things like this. Because now you find a lot of guys that find their way to uni, your folks start giving you cash when you're in uni, and you blow it. You're given cash today and you finish it in 1 week. You don't know how to manage it throughout the month, you know, save. Also, for example, they need a savings account. So if you get extra money from Shosho, you need to make sure at least 20% is being put away. Money is going to be an open conversation in the home. Finally, when it comes to relationships with my kids' friends' parents, I will be dealing with the mothers and my partner will be dealing with the husbands. Now, you have cases where there's a single mother or a single father raising kids. Those ones, you work around it. But if you come from if my child's friends come from a two-parent home, I'm not sitting down with anybody's husband. That's for my man to take over. There are certain boundaries. Additionally, there are certain roles and rules that if I have a daughter, I'd want her to pick up on. And if I have a son, I'd want him to pick up on. There are certain things that you need to understand as a woman and certain things you need to understand as a man. I get that there's this whole movement on equality. Equality doesn't mean we're the same. A man and a woman is not the same thing. Equality means balance. Equality means opposites but finding a way to blend, yin and yang. That is what it is. And I need my daughter to know as a woman certain things and my son as a man to understand certain things. And last but not least, prayer. We are a home that prays. I don't want to hear it. When you're older, I will respect your decisions when it comes to your religion as my child. If you want to convert to, for example, you want to convert to Islam or whatever, I'll definitely respect that. But you must have some sort of faith because the spiritual realm is real. I don't care it doesn't matter what religion you are. All of us that believe in a God understand that there is a spiritual realm. So, yeah. Meditation and therapy is a must. Meditation can be 2 minutes in a day, but meditation is so key for children when it comes to self-regulating and emotions because we have too many adults walking around here with audacity because of their inability to regulate their own emotions. And this came from the fact that you were not taught as a kid. So my kids need to be meditating. Meditating is something you're going to be doing 2-3 times a week. It's a minute, 2 minutes. It's not going to kill you. And I think therapy is something important. I wouldn't force the kids to go to therapy, but forms of therapy could also happen through writing reflections about your day. Therapy could come as a form of prayer, talking to God and giving thanks, because that's a way of reflecting on your blessings. We are to stay humble. And actually, to bring to the last point, because this video is so damn long, but I'm waiting for my laundry. Volunteer work of some sort. If my kid loves animals, do some volunteer work at KSPCA. If my babies love babies, let's go and maybe read books to children. There has to be some form of volunteer work. I've always done volunteer work. I still donate to this day. I'm always giving back. Just these are things I don't post about. But it's very important for my kids to understand that they're extremely blessed and extremely privileged, and they must also realize that as the parents, my partner and I, we are going to keep them protected and shielded from a lot. But that shouldn't make them blind to the realities of the world. And that comes with a lot of pain. So yeah, those are my things for my kids. Okay, I'm going to eat some prosciutto and some rocket leaves in a croissant. I just bought a couple of bits and bobs. The croissants I got today are butter croissants, cheese and butter croissants. So bon appetit, baby.